Always the seekers and sojourners of truth in this beautiful sunlight beaming right at me right now. I greet you all in the love that lights the truth always. I'm Celestial Earth. Welcome, welcome in for those who come through, who choose to blow in with the wind. Like the trees, I'm just sitting here catching these wind codes, these earth codes. It's been a lot of wind and earth for me lately. Um, and what sign are we in? Yeah, we're in, even though we're in the fire sign, but of course I got my fire always blazing. I got the sun right there beaming at me. Um, Sharing with you all some wind codes, and I'm just sitting here in the wind. See my little tree saying hi to y'all. Say hi to the tree. Let it be, let it be. And as I sit here, I'm listening and just saying, listen to the wind. Look at it. Look, he like, hey, I said, hey. Y'all say hey to the tree. Don't be ignoring the trees. I talked about that in one of the previous videos. That it's new communication as Mercury is going direct. It's a lot of what's going to help us come together with a lot of the releasing that we have been doing, and some of us are still releasing. I felt it today as I sat out here. I can still feel the releasing happening. See the tree saying hi to you. So a new form of communication is really communicating with 2D consciousness. And as I said that, the wind just picked up right now again. The wisdom in the wind is speaking, and now it's time for us to let it speak loudly. And not forget about 2D, because remember that helps us to ground and get into deeper into the fifth dimension when we go back into 2D consciousness with a certain type of respecting the earth, respecting the movement of the earth, because there is movement of the earth, although it seems to stand still and we move all about. We're just the busybodies on the earth, so it seems like it's standing still. We're the busy atoms going all over the place like this, so it seems to stand still, but it's not. It's very mobile. Look, it's telling you. It's like what she said, what she said. Greetings, Ezioku. And the earth is saying hello. Look, it's like hello, hello to you. So as I sit in these wind codes, I'm listening and I'm saying, yeah, listen to just like the trees as I'm seeing it pass through. Just like the wind blows through the trees, passing the information through the leaves, so does it. It does the same thing with with you and me, all of us. We're exchanging information in the codes, and we really got to think about that deeply, deeply and honestly. We look at Pocahontas, and it's like I'm really feeling more of that Pocahontas, for those of you who know, when she just stands still and you see the wind just blowing, and she's like, it's like she's using all her senses to listen to the wind. And we think about that even back then. You think it's just something in the cartoon. You think that, whoa, that's a neat factor. Or we even distance ourselves to think that it only belongs to the Native Americans from the movie, or indigenous people. And we forget that, hello, we are the indigenous people. We are the natives of the land. Should we choose to remember that we are natives of the land and stop acting like foreigners that are here to colonize and conquer the land. We are native in every way. We're so native that we come from it. We come from the dust. We come from the wind. We come from the fire. We come from the water. We come from all these elements that are even within us. As within, so without. The waters move through you all the time. The fire, which is the very word of your essence, moves through you all the time. Peace, love, and light. Hotep, Hotep, divine delight. Hotep to all my Kemetic ancient ones who are here, and you know that you have Kemetic ancestry deep in your ancient bloodline. And it is part of the reason that you have returned, because some of you are returning residents from Kemet, from the time of Kemet. And you're constantly hearing it play in the back of your mind. Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time we fell in love? And we're not talking about googly eyes love. We're talking about unity frequency, the love frequency. Do you remember the time that we walked in this frequency? Maybe it's asking some of us, do you remember the time that you fell out of love? You fell out of one mind consciousness and into this separation. Do you remember the time? And do you remember how to get back in time, in divine timing? So a lot of this is, this is my Monday. I usually don't do much on Monday. Usually don't do a video. So I'm just sharing my inner reflections with you all. I'm really in a very calm state. I'm still in, like, literally wedding get up. Ashe. That's right. I remember deeply. I could feel it deep in the codes in my blood. And so I'm out here every time. It never fails. Lately, it's been happening a lot lately, ever since stepping into this Sirius gateway within the past month or so, that as my feet are bare on the ground and I'm sitting in the earth, just sitting in silence. No performed rituals yet, no doing any Reiki or anything yet, but just sitting down, grounding, feeling the earth, listening to the earth, hearing the earth, sensing the earth. Very somatic type of grounding, right? For those of you who don't know what somatic therapy is, it's sensory. It's using all your senses. And this is how that's the tool we're going to use to connect back to 2D consciousness, to gather what we need to gather. It's saying to us, hello, it's waving. It's like, hey, I got some information for you. See? It's like, psst, come here. Come here, I got something for you. If you would just listen, just sit by me for a minute. Some of these trees are calling you. Some of y'all know who I'm talking about. You'll be driving by and you just happen to notice a tree. Like how you notice somebody fine passing by. You like, ooh, y'all see that tree? My real ones know what I'm talking about. See, the breeze just took up. And it's not by happenstance. Like, this is my tree friend right here. He on my back. And some of us are just like, these are not inanimate objects. These are our brothers and sisters, our living beings that are here with us, that have been here before us, that got codes that we need to know, that's rooted in the earth, connecting to our earth chakra. A lot of us are so disengaged from our earth chakra, but they're so rooted in the earth. They got the codes that we need to tap in to get our earth codes, to go through the portals of time in the dimensions of our mind through earth codes. There's so much energy that's coming in. Don't just always look up and forget to look down on the ground. Yeah, there's a lot of frequencies coming in. The light codes are coming in, but they're coming in and they're going, the trees are taking what they need to take and they're putting it in the earth. They're being those obedient conduits of light that's allowing it to come in and ground into the earth. And they're holding those codes for you, should you so choose to say, hey tree, what you got for me? And really just sit there in silence and listen. Let it open up the chambers within your heart. Let you hear the pulsating beat of the earth, the pulsations, even through nature, as the birds speak. They're connecting you if we choose to. Ashe? It's all animated. Yes, for those who know, it's the Sakem. For my Kemetic ones, Sa, Sekem, Sahu. Sa is the breath of life. Sa is spirit. As the spirit moves over the face of the earth, that's the breath of life that moves through the winds. And the wind, although we can't see it, it's carrying little invisible codes, if you will. Call them nanobots, if you will. You know how you can't see nanotechnology? It's like that. The codes in the wind are like nanotechnology in the earth. This is nanotechnology that has been here before humankind has ever thought about it. And it's sending the information as you breathe it in. How many are out here breathing in nanotechnology all the time, chemtrails and all of that stuff? You breathe it in anyway. Why not be aware of the divine codes that come in through our atmosphere, through the channels of time? Light codes that come in through our atmosphere and translate into wind codes for us to breathe in, for it to touch our skin. Our skin is also an organism that it's a pore. It's a surface, but it's pores, many holes in our skin. So we breathe it in through our skin, just as the leaves take it in. They don't just take in sunlight. The wind goes through them as it goes through us. It's like airwaves, radio waves in the air. How many of us really think that deep? When you're doing your deep breathing, think about what you're breathing in. Be intentional about what you're breathing in, asking for the codes that are coming in as well. What are the codes that I'm bringing in? Help me to translate this message into my soul. I choose to be aware of the messages that I behold as the stories unfold for the half that has never been told. This is how we reverse and flip the script. This is how we separate from the parasitic energy. We have to claim it. That's why the parasites can get into so many people, because they're not claiming their divine codes. We walk in it and through it all the time, but we forfeit it. We neglect it. We don't look at it. And the parasitic energies know all too well. So it hops in where it can, wherever we choose to be an open vessel. Ashe. And so as I share that, the wind codes that I came in, that was coming through, I'm seeing a lot. I've been seeing a lot. I've been feeling a lot. Every time I sit here, tears are coming. And what I had to say, thank you, butterfly, is like transformation. A butterfly literally just flew over. It was like, ooh, transformation. Drop that in your wind chime. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Transformation. And the transformation is still happening. So a lot of us may still be feeling the release. It was like, yes, it's time to allow that to release. For me personally, I felt it because I had, family come into town this weekend. There was a, wedding. And there was a release to remove a barrier, to remove a long-awaited block between me and another family member. And when we remove those, when we break generational curses with another family member, it's like it really unclogs something there. It moves the filter the dirty filter that was blocked. It's like it cleans the filter. And now there's clear airwaves, if that makes sense. And so with that newfound clarity, again, this is Mercury moving direct. As Mercury is moving direct, it's covering its shadow of when it was retrograding. It's still in the shadow of the retrograde. So when it's moving direct, don't just think, okay, boom, we direct. It has to clear the shadow. So now it's going back over with clarity, communication that brings clarity. And okay, sorry, we got an alert right there. Excuse that interruption. There's a child abduction. Excuse that interruption. There's a child abduction. And even that is a message in itself. What is the coincidence? I'm saying it to you right now about clear communication, covering that over. There's a child abduction somewhere out there. There's somewhere within one of us that the child has been abducted. Your inner child has been taken. And somewhere in this clear communication, you're alerting yourself, or even maybe whom you're speaking to, you're alerting them through clear communication of this child abduction. Ashe? Thank you, bird. So I know it's a word for somebody. I know it's speaking to me. I'm not going to act like it's not speaking to me, because it had to do with the clarity that I was getting, was clearing up something from my inner child. So it's clearing when that child felt abducted. taken from its innocence is what I mean. If you feel like something was taken from your innocence as a child, that's an abduction. So there's an alert here that's saying through clear communication, we're recognizing the child abduction. Ashe, who was abducted? When did it happen? And it's to look at the healing for you. It's not to pinpoint and blame anybody else. It's to realize, alert, there was a child abduction in your childhood womb. A piece of you, a piece of your childhood in you was abducted, snatched. And that the feelings that came with that were put and packed away somewhere, locked away, allowing the misappropriated ego to spin a narrative to protect that snatch abducted child. But now when you realize through clear communication that there was an abduction, you can now put these feelings in its right place, in its rightful place. Remove that narrative, because now you recognize that that happened because you felt abducted. You were abducted as a child, through the rejection, through the abandonment, through the emotional neglect, whatever it is that has happened. These are things that we're releasing. I'm saying this because this is the emotional components that we are releasing now, that is helping us to process said emotions, that are bringing clear communication forward, because it has been that deep over the past couple of weeks, especially being in that gateway, especially going through the halls of Amenti and those portals in time. Ashe, I know they don't want messages like this, because this is true authenticity. This is not a spiritual showcase. So messages like these, they will shadow ban. Only the real true seekers of truth will find messages like these, because this is not to showcase spirit. This is to really show the shadow work and what's happening at grassroots, deep within our souls. What is happening that needs to extract what we need to in order to thrust forward. Grounding is a must. I can tell you that right now, as I've said it before, take it like it's medication. And as I sat out here and got my daily medication, I felt the tears coming, and it was like, okay, it's a release. And the wind blows. I'm sending y'all all these wind codes from my heart to yours. It's a release, and that's what it was. Okay, get back to that release. All right, Spirit's like, get back to the release. So it's to remind you that in this true transformation, huge transformation, as I'm looking at this huge butterfly, it is to know that we're releasing. And not just know it, really, really, truly know it and feel it through an experience. Allow yourself to experience the release that you're feeling. The release for yourself individually, the release for your collective family consciousness, the release for your collective community consciousness, the release for your collective as humanity. From one collective to another, we're releasing. We're breaking old barriers. We're breaking old generational curses and breaking illusions, breaking those veils of amnesia, and the release is just a part of the process. So it was letting me know, yeah, you unplugged something very deep by removing that filter from that was held up from childhood, that you were able to clarify with another. Because what do they say? Where two or more agree. Where two or more agrees, there is power. When you can authenticate on the vibratory field together with more than one person, if you can just grab one person that you can walk in true authenticity with, that you can have a true sense of a true communication that breaks the barriers, especially with the family member, because together your blood holds a certain type of bond in the bloodline codes. And when you and another, they don't got to believe everything you believe, but when you and them can clarify a truth, especially if it clears up a past wound, it really breaks a certain type of cycle. within your family. And yes, it's going to boil some other demon in the bloodline. Somewhere in the bloodline, they boiling because they feel that. You set something off in the vibratory field and you're true to that. And that's what's needed right now. And when you do it, when you have these conversations with your loved ones, do it if you can, do it in the earth. See if you can set the setting, allow the setting to be you in the earth, barefoot in the earth, so that you can be grounding while releasing, grounding while refacing or rehashing certain truths is the best place. And if you get to speak to them, let's say you didn't get to do it in a place of grounding, as soon as you can, get into a place of grounding so that you can release those energies, so that you can detoxify those energies. Not that it had to be a toxic environment, but it's toxic in how you were probably holding it in your consciousness all this time, or how they may have held it, and it's a release for both of you. So to detoxify that out of your auric field for however long it's been held in your consciousness, in your vibratory field. Ashe? The 4-year-old in me was abducted. Ashe, thanks for that share. My heart is uncovering to feel or to heal multiple times. I think it says I died multiple times, or I tried. It's something I'm not seeing there multiple times in one of my first incarnations in this imprint. I'm trying to see the D word and I couldn't really see it. It says I did something multiple times. If you could clarify it, for some reason that's the only word I'm not seeing. I don't know if it's I died. But yes, we were abducted. Whatever the incident was that happened to you, it's like we got abducted. Our inner child was abducted and its innocence was taken. However you thought about something innocently, that innocence part of you was abducted. And you then had to be the protector of the soul, which engages the ego to step up and say, here I am to save the day. And here comes the ego with its narrative to do anything to protect you. And that's why we have to go back into our ego to allow it to unfold, to humbleize the ego, right? When the ego's holding on to something so strong, we really got to go in and allow ourselves to feel first. Allow ourselves to feel the feelings we once felt, and then have a true revelation now with these new set of eyes, with this real eye. We have to realize what really took place and get a true understanding, get a true perspective in order to loosen the grip of the ego that wants to protect. And we have to be adamant about it. We have to be adamant about the truth, regardless of how we feel. Because of how you felt in the past is going to want to stand up and say, no, but this happened, and we have to say no. Allow the truth, the revelation of truth, to transform this experience, to change the perspective so that you can loosen the grip and say, okay, ego, we no longer need this narrative. Peace be unto you. Peace. I call for peace in my soul. And as long as I hold this narrative, I will not have peace in my soul. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what I try to tell myself about protecting myself. I need to say to myself and be aware that I no longer need this protection. This protection is a part of the illusion, the intrusion of illusion that wants me to stay in a narrative of fear, false evidence appearing real. It wants me to stay in the low vibration of I'm not good enough, or I don't have enough, or lacking limitations. It wants me to stay there. That's what keeping that narrative does. If you want to keep that narrative to protect the fear, then you will never see abundance. And the wind blows because the wind knows. Allow yourself to get these wind codes. Ashe? Hi, all the way from the UK. Peace, love, and light. I know it's over there being night. It's nighttime. And as I say that, my apologies to all the UK people that come on here. It's been a lot more UK people. Thank you. But my apologies because of it's a little bit of trouble with the time, first of all, because you're 6 hours ahead. But getting through to getting calendars to you. For those who are wanting the calendars, um, we really need to find a way to get it over to you that is not so expensive. I like to make it as fair as possible, and it's really hard for me to have someone pay $200, $300 for a calendar that's like 27 bucks. Like, so we're working on it. Bear with me if someone out there has an answer to this. If someone that does shipping all the time that has an answer to this, please let me know. Please email me at akilatextry@gmail.com, AKILAHTEXTRI. Email me at gmail.com so that we can get a solution to getting the calendars across the Atlantic over there for a reasonable fee. So my apologies for the delay because some of you have been waiting, and I really want to get it to you. So the 5D calendars are still here. If you want one, you can also email me at that same email at a 5D corner near you to get your 5D calendar so that you can remember the time. Ashe. So before I go, I was out here. I wanted to share this with you all, the word of the woodpecker, because the woodpeckers, they come and go and they're very elusive. However, as I was out here today, this woodpecker just stayed. Like he came, he was pretty dominant to the blue jays. I don't know if it's because his beak is sharp and they don't want no parts of that, but it was very dominant, and it came and got some feed in some of the nuts that I put out, which they usually don't do. And it kept coming by and it was making itself known. And so I wanted to share with you all the spiritual meaning of the woodpecker, especially with what we've been coming out of, and whoever it resonates for, it resonates. So it symbolizes persistence, rhythm, and divine timing. Persistence, rhythm, and divine timing. So it is bringing the message of persistence. We are to be in this persistence. If you're not already there, it may be a symbol that some of us are feeling the rhythm of the earth. As I've been saying, I'm feeling the pulsation. So that could be more likely why it's coming into my visual like that now. It's really coming into my spectrum in that way, because I'm sitting in the pulsations of the earth and I'm experiencing, this is true 4D experience. You're experiencing divine timing, right? As it says here, it also symbolizes time. So not just regular time, but divine time, the nature of time, the true origins of time. We're returning to that. We're restoring that true nature of time. Hi, Kim. Peace, love, and light. So this woodpecker is symbolizing having this persistence, being in the rhythm of the earth, being inside of divine timing for what it is worth. Right? And there's more. It also says that it encourages you to keep pursuing opportunities. So whatever you're pursuing in the opportunities, and we're not talking about low frequency opportunities. We're talking about opportunities that are presenting itself through you through miraculous ways, through faith, through the third eye experience, allowing yourself to step into the unknown, breaking fears to step into opportunities. So trusting you to pursue that. This is trust in natural cycles. So it's also encourages trust in the natural cycles of life, as I'm doing with the wind codes, the earth codes, the cycles of time. Trust nature. The answers are in nature. They're here to guide us. We live in nature. Nature doesn't live in us, you know, but it goes both ways. But I feel like Malcolm X, when he said Plymouth Rock, we landed on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock didn't land on us. It's like that. We live in nature. Nature didn't land on us. We landed on nature. So we live in nature. So that means respect nature. Trust the cycle of nature. It doesn't work for you. It is here to guide you. Ashe. So trust in the natural cycles and listen to your intuition. See, it brings us back to listening to that feminine energy, the intuition. Seeing a woodpecker can be a sign to stay focused on your goals, especially when you seem distant, and to pay attention to inner wisdom and subtle messages. And I feel like that part right there was a major insight for those of us who have come through this halls of Amenti, for those of us who've come through this serious gateway, who really feeling the changes and you're feeling the rise of the Sophia essence of wisdom, the Sophia energy that represents wisdom. So paying attention now to that inner wisdom. It's one thing to know it's there, but it's another thing to pay attention to the inner wisdoms, to the inner standings of these wisdoms and the subtle messages that come, like how I'm able to see, like the tree, I'm able to see the subtle messages. All right, like my friend Charlie here on the fence. Say hi to the people, Charlie. It's my 5D friend right there. Charlie the squirrel coming to get his nuts. So I pay attention to all the messages. Let nothing pass you by, and I do mean subtle. So that woodpecker was coming by as a sign that's saying divine timing, trust the cycles, pay attention to the subtle messages. It's asking you to listen to the rise of Sophia. Stop letting the demiurge drag you through the mud. And with the wisdom, we carry our discernment to say, I see you, I know who you are, I know who you be. And I know who I am, the star that I be. And with that, I hold the light. I carry this torch of light wherever I go, and this light is the information. And this information travels in many ways. Through the fire, through the fire of the light, through the wind chimes of time, right? Through the earth codes that we behold, through the waters that flows through our soul. It is all a part of us. Do you hear it? Do you feel it? Do you sense it? Are you opening yourself to the 6 senses of time? That's your third eye. That is feminine energy. That is faith. So the woodpecker is coming by to say, do you do this? Can you do something different? Because the woodpecker always pecks on wood. But today he was like, I'm going to pick up a peanut. I dare to be different. And I'm bold with it. And I'm going to walk in my authentic authority, because he came and he asserted his dominance. He wasn't aggressive. He was assertive. So be assertive in your dominance. When you get these wisdoms, know who you are. Be persistent. The woodpecker persistently pecks at that wood. Be persistent in your true thoughts and in your true feelings. And let nothing take you off the track, because nothing's going to take you back. Ashe? It's forward movement from here on out. But you got to be willing to scream and shout. And I mean express yourself boldly and loudly. You don't got to be a screaming banshee. I mean scream through your expressions. Be bold in your expressions. And allow that to carry you to that next level. And there's the wind. Divine timing. Let that woodpecker be a reminder to you. So if any of you are seeing woodpeckers, I know it's a confirmation for you. You getting the message. Let the Sophia wisdom awaken in you, so the demiurge can't come near you. And if it does, you stand firmly facing it, saying, I know this is an illusion. I will not let you suggest and incite fear in my soul, because I walk in the abundance of the truths that I behold, always, ever unfolding. So I'm not looking for a final destination in time, because I am the infinite of the divine. And that's what it is. Hold truth to your words. And remember the sacred Trinity for my sisterhood spirits. For those out there, there's a sacred Trinity. Find them. Even in your family, find them. because it's that is going to open the doorways for the divine masculine, the creative flow of energy and essence to move without blockage, to not be distracted by the demiurge of illusions. Ashe 7-7, as I said that. See, it's a completion. It's the manifestation, which is a return to completion. So allow yourself to return to that completion. Ashe, allow yourself to return and remember the time within the dimensions of your mind. And I'm going to leave that right there. Oh, wait, I do have one more thing I could leave with y'all. This was from the Wind Codes. No, I did say this. I shared this with y'all. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. It's like, nah, you got this. So that's just to remind us of the nostalgia. Okay, there's the wind got something to say. Speak, tree. So let it be. Ashe, between you and me. So with that said, love you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my root day, my reflective day, in my meditations. In my meditation that is my medication. Grounding is an honorable sensation. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. You are the star, you are the light, and you know who you are. Let your flames ignite. Peace. We're welcome.